Hi, welcome back to another episode of My Bourbon Journey. My name is Scott. Today I've got a very couple of interesting products from Glens Creek Distillery in, I believe, Frankfort, Kentucky. This is a distillery that is now operated at the Old Crow Distillery, which goes back to, geez, I believe the early to middle part of the 1800s. So, one interesting story that I kind of came across when I was doing a little bit of research was for the OCD number 5. This was their bourbon, and it's a cask strength bourbon. But the interesting part is this is they found a yeast strain going back to the Old Crow days in the fermenter number 5, hence the OCD number 5. And anyway, that's what they're making the bourbon from, that yeast strain. So that in itself is kind of a pretty cool story. The samples I have, I was lucky enough to have them send me a few of these to do a video review, which I was happy to do so. So anyway, let's start out first with their rye whiskey, which is the Ryskey Rye Whiskey. This is from barrel number 70, barrel number 4. Excuse me, it was bottle number 70, barrel number 4, at 118.6 proof or 59.3 ABV. Again, that's the rye whiskey. Their stave and barrel. This is from bottle number 110, barrel number 6. This is also 118.6 proof, or again 59.3% ABV. And the other one that I had mentioned before, which is the OCD number 5 bourbon. This is the cask strength bourbon. This is from bottle number 14, barrel number 8. It's bottled at 111.4 proof, or 55.7 ABV. So I've not actually tried any of these yet, so we're going to kind of do this on the fly and see what we kind of come up with. So again, I would recommend, if you haven't already, go check out the distillery. I've yet to be there, or yet to have gone there, I'm sorry. Actually, next time we probably go down to do some more of the maybe craft bourbon trail. I think we're going to try to hit Glens Creek. So, but I believe all of their products are available at the distillery, and I don't know what the allocation is, so you'll have to check your individual areas for that. So, first, let's start with the Ryskey Rye Whiskey. Again, bottle 70, barrel number 4, 118.6 proof. So we'll see what we get. Let's start with the nose on this. Actually, let's do the color of this. We can see what we've got. So this is a nice, really nice copper tone to it. So I don't know what the ages on any of this stuff is. I'm sure it's at their website that everyone can check out. So again, let's go ahead. I'll do the nose on the rye. Yeah, so you get those right up front, obviously, the rye. Boy, a bit of vanilla. A little bit of mint, actually, so you can smell that kind of coming through in the rye. So that smells fantastic. Great nose on this. Let's go ahead and give this a taste. Cheers. Boy, fantastic. Up front, you get that heat right away. Does kind of dissipate fairly quickly, so you get a little bit of burn on the way down, but very good. A very nice mint tone to this. Nice sweet tone. You're getting again those you know, a little bit of the vanilla, but you're getting a lot of the rye spice. My guess would be this is a very high rye mash bill. I don't know exactly what it is, but for some reason I want to say this is a 95% rye mash bill. So if anyone knows, correct me if I'm wrong. I'll do some more research and update the video as well. So, but again, this is fantastic. A great rye. Boy, I love the mint in there. This would be great to just sip on. Would make a fantastic cocktail. But I'd hate to even just necessarily throw this in a cocktail. You know, it would make a great Manhattan or old fashioned. But again, to sit down and, you know, sip on this neat, I would have no problems with that. So, great job. And again, I believe that's sourced. I think it's an MGP sourced rye. But again, if somebody knows, let me know. So again, now we'll go to the Stave Barrel. Again, this is bottle 110, barrel number 6, at 118.6 proof. So again, this is something you'd probably, well, you could, you know, sip on it neat, but may want to throw an ice cube or a little bit of limestone water in, just to bring down the proof and maybe bring out a little sweetness. But let's go ahead and give that a taste. Actually, we'll go ahead and do the nose. First, let's do the color. Yeah, again, a nice copper bronze. I don't know the age on this one either, but you know, again, you can see a really nice color to that. So let's give this a nose. Yeah, again, that rye up front, we're getting a little bit of that rye. Caramel, vanilla. You know, a lot of the standard bourbon notes that you get from a lot of different things, but smells fantastic. So let's give this a taste. Cheers. Okay. So there is that corn presence. You know, a bit of oak, butterscotch. A lot of butterscotch on this. It's really soft on the palate, so it's a fantastic, not I would say really no heat, especially from something that's 118.6 proof. Really, it's just super smooth. I hate to use that term necessarily, but boy, this is a very easy sipper. You know, I don't even know if this necessarily needs water. Maybe with a little bit of water, it would bring out a little bit of sweetness, but I'm going to give it another taste and just kind of see what we've got. Boy, that's very good. Yeah, a lot of butterscotch and honey on this. So I would say very sweet bourbon. So if you enjoy something that's sweet, this is something I would highly recommend. This is a fantastic bourbon, actually. And again, this is the Stave Barrel bourbon, 118.6 proof or 59.3 ABV. So if you can find this, I would highly recommend this bourbon. This is actually one of the better ones I've tasted in quite some time. This is it's got a medium to longer finish. Fantastic palate. Great nose. A lot of sweetness. The sweet corn comes out in this. But boy, this would be fantastic. So cheers to you guys for this. This is a fantastic bourbon. So let's go to the OCD number 5 bourbon. This is again 111.4% or 55.7 ABV. And again, this is the OCD number 5. And this was based on that story that they had before. Again, this is cask strength. So yeah, so this is straight from the barrel, essentially. So let's give this a nose. Boy, very different than the Stave Barrel. Still get a little bit of the oak and corn presence. Oh yeah, a bit of mint on this one. Something I didn't get from the prior bourbon. But again, still a very nice nose. There's a sweetness like a cream corn on this. Another one very pleasant actually. Let's give this a taste. Cheers again. Boy, so on this, get a bit of like leather and honey, kind of a mixture of that. Very different than the stave and barrel. Kind of a smokiness flavor to it as well. Um, I don't get a lot of the rye or anything on this, but it's got a bit of a smoky kind of undertone to it. So very unique. Um, let's give this another try. Yeah, a lot of smoke on this. I don't know exactly what that's coming from. If that's from the barrel or what exactly that is, but very unique. I'd say I've never had a bourbon with that much of a smoke flavor to it. So I would say this in itself, sipping, is very unique, very enjoyable. I would have no problem sitting down and having some of this to sip on as well. So, but I would say in a Manhattan or an old fashioned, that smoke flavor that's coming through would make that a very unique, different drink. I know the trend now is you see out there everyone, has a little piece of wood burning. They put a cup or a glass over top of that to get some of that smoke flavor, pour it over your ice, and now you've got kind of a smoky undertone to your drink. I don't think you'd have to do that at all with this. This is very unique. So, um, yeah, something very different. It's enjoyable. That's for sure. So, well, with that being said, I'll go ahead and I'll end the review. And again, I want to thank the guys over at Glens Creek Distillery for sending these samples to me. I'll for sure be looking out for their products. If you haven't checked them out, go ahead and do so. If you can find their products, buy it. Hopefully, this review has helped you, kind of give you a bit of an idea of their products. They also do a rum, but I didn't. I decided not to do the review of that just because I'm not a huge rum guy, but and I didn't want to give them do it a disservice if I was tasting it wrong. So again, thanks to the guys over at Glens Creek. Check them out. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Again, I'm going to try to do a few of these. Actually, one or two, maybe every week or two. So maybe one on average per week. And I'm going to try to release these on Sundays just so that you have a better idea of when they're going to be coming out, so you can look for those reviews. So as always, I appreciate any feedback. If you haven't subscribed, I'd ask if you don't mind doing so. Any comments are always appreciated. And with that being said, thanks again for watching the review. You can follow me at My Bourbon Journey on Instagram. And take care. Cheers.